Hello, my dear students. Myself, Mr. Mangesh Bale. I am working as an assistant professor at Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce, and Science College, Jawar. So, in the previous lecture, we have completed a subtopic from atomic spectroscopy, that is flame emission spectroscopy, or you can say flame photometry. Okay, now in today's lecture we are going to start the second subtopic from that atomic spectroscopy, that is atomic absorption spectroscopy. Okay, so in atomic absorption spectroscopy, first we will see the definition of the atomic absorption spectroscopy. See, atomic absorption spectroscopy is can be defined as the absorption of characteristic radiation, usually ultraviolet and visible by ground state neutral atoms in the gaseous state. Okay, hope you understood this definition of the atomic absorption spectroscopy. See, this technique, it was invented by Sir Alan Walsh in 1955 for the hollow cathode lamp that made atomic absorption spectroscopy a particular method of chemical analysis. Since then, AAS, that is atomic absorption spectroscopy, has become one of the most popular and useful method or technique for the analysis of elements at concentration as low as 1 ppm. That means from 1955 this technique will be useful for very low concentration of the sample solution up to what, 1 ppm. Okay, that means 1 milligram per dm cube. This much low concentration solution also we can analyze by this atomic absorption spectroscopy. AAS is useful particularly in the determination of trace metals in liquids. Only total content of the metal, irrespective of its form of existence, is determined. AAS is determine the 60 to 70 elements, including most of the common rare earth metals. The main advantage of this atomic absorption spectroscopy is that the determination is carried out in the presence of other metals and separation of test elements from the others. Okay, so we have seen this is the introductive part of this atomic absorption spectroscopy. Now we will see the principle of the atomic absorption spectroscopy. Okay, when a metallic salt solution is aspirated into the flame, metal atoms in the gaseous state are obtained. See, we have seen the principle of flame photometry. In that case, we have seen three major steps, that is vaporization, atomization, and excitations. Okay, same case here also we can do. In this case also our salt solution, that means any kind of salt, either NaCl or KCl, okay, that will be dissolved into the water as a solvent. Okay, that salt solution we can burn into the flame. Okay, at that time metal atoms in the gas state are obtained. Okay, in the first step, that means vaporization, the entire solvent will get vaporized. Okay, and finally the residue of the salt will be remaining. Okay, that will be the first step of that principle. Okay, after the gaseous state atom, some metal atoms absorb thermal energy of the flame and get excited. Okay, entire solvent will get vaporized. Then second step is atomization. In the atomization step, the residue of the salt will be also vaporized and convert into the free neutral gases atom or radicals. Okay, then some of the metal atom will absorb thermal energy from the flame. Okay, because it will be burned on the top of the flame, that's why they are absorbing the thermal energy, and after absorption of the thermal energy it will get excited. That means they are going from ground state to excited state. However, most of atoms remain in the non-emitting ground state. Okay, see, but all atom will not absorb the thermal energy. Then that are remain present on the ground state, or you can say non-emitting ground state. These ground state gaseous atoms are capable of absorbing radiations of their own specific resonance wavelength. That ground state gaseous atoms are capable. They are capably absorb the radiations of their own specific resonance wavelength. When radiation from an external source, that is hollow cathode lamp, that is the radiation source, emitting a spectral line that their corresponds to this characteristics wavelength, is allowed to pass through a flame containing free unexcited atoms. Part of that radiations is absorbed depending on non population of the ground state. Okay, so in this case we are interested that non-emitting ground state atom. Okay, when we pass the radiations from the hollow cathode lamp, it will emit a spectral line. Okay, that spectral line will be falls on that non-emitting ground state atoms and absorb the characteristics resonance wavelength. Okay, the absorption of radiations by ground state atoms also follow Beer's-Lambert's law. That means non-emitting ground state atom that absorb the radiations which is coming from the radiation source, that is hollow cathode lamp, that also follow the Beer's-Lambert's law. All of you know the Beer's-Lambert's law. The equation of the Beer's-Lambert's law is what? A is equal to epsilon BC, right? Okay. A means what? Absorbance. Epsilon is the molar absorptivity. B stands for path length and C stands for concentration. Okay. So in that Beer's-Lambert's law, A is directly proportional to the path length of the cuvette and concentration of the solution. So in this case, in atomic absorption spectroscopy, absorbance is directly proportional to the concentration of atoms in the flame and path length in the flame. Okay, an atom after absorbing energy, okay, after absorbing it will changes from low energy state to higher energy state. That means the non-emitting ground state atom, when absorb characteristics wavelength, or can say radiations or energy from the external source, it will going from ground in state energy state to higher energy state. Atoms do not vibrate in the same sense as the molecules do, and also no rotational energy with them. At that time, what the higher energy state atom do not vibrate, okay, and also do not rotate with their rotational energy, okay. Hence, only electronic transition of the outermost electrons give rise to as a series of well-defined narrow lines which are referred to as the absorption spectra. Okay, only their electronic transition of the outermost electrons will be takes place in that case. Other, it will not vibrate or rotate also. Okay. The total amount of light absorbed by atoms is given by the particular expression. That means whatever light which is coming through the external source, that is hollow cathode lamp, whatever light absorbed by a particular atom, that will be given by one expression. That expression is total amount of light absorbed at nu is equal to pi into E square upon m into c into nf. This is the equation, or you can say expression, of the total amount of light absorbed by the atoms, okay, where in this case small e is equal to charge on the electron, okay. Small m is the mass of the electron, small c is the velocity of light, capital N is the total number of atoms in the light path that can absorb at frequency nu, okay. Small f is equal to oscillator strength, or ability of each atom to absorb at frequency nu, okay. So this is the expression of the total amount of light absorbed by the atom, okay. So in this case the term pi, e, m and c, these are the totally constant terms, okay. The above equation becomes, okay, when the pi, e, m and c are constant, then the above equation is what? Total amount of light absorbed is equal to constant into n into f, okay. So this is the our final expression of the total amount of light absorbed by particular atoms, okay. The above expression does not involve wavelength and their frequency and temperature. Hence, it is clear that atomic absorption is independent of wavelength of absorption and temperature. These two features provides AAS distinct advantages over flame emission spectroscopy. Okay. So in the next lecture we are going to start the instrumentation of the atomic absorption spectroscopy. So thank you.